So good day everyone. Today we'll be discussing the nanoworld. And these are our lesson objectives. At the end of this lesson, the student should be able to define nanotechnology, characterize nanoscale, describe the various uses of nanotechnology, discuss concerns in the use of nanotechnology, and explain the status of the use of nanotechnology in the Philippines. So, introduction. Scientific researchers have developed new technological tools that greatly improve different aspects of our lives. The use of nanoscale is one important interdisciplinary area generated by advancement in science and technology. So, ang mga scientists kay nakabuhat og bagong technology nga maka-improve sa ato ang life. And one major development is the use of materials at the nanoscale. So, ang mga scientists o mga engineers karon kay nag-build og mga materials with new properties by manipulating them at the atomic or molecular level. So, kini nga technology makahelp ni siya sa atong health, sa environment, energy ug sa agriculture. So, sa atong healthcare, kay makahelp siya in drug delivery and medical diagnostics. And for the environment, kay it is used in water purification and pollution control. And sa energy, kay it improves solar cells and batteries. And sa agriculture, kay it is used for smart delivery of nutrients and pest control. So nanotechnology refers to the science, engineering, and technology conducted at the nanoscale. It involves manipulating materials at the atomic or molecular level for various scientific and industrial applications. So, ni siya? What is nanotechnology? So, ang nanotechnology, mao ang mga scientists, engineering o ang technology naghimo sa nanoscale gikan sa 1 hangtod sa 100 nanometers. So, ang usa ka nanometer, usa ka billion sa usa ka meter. So, kini nga technology nag-allow sa ato ang mo-work gamit ang pinakagamay nga butang aron makabuhat og materials and devices with unique features. So, next is history of nanotechnology. So, 1959, Richard Feynman discusses molecular manipulation. So, the concept of nanotechnology o nanoscience kay nag-start siya pag December 29, 1959 when renowned physicist nga si Richard Feynman nga nag-delivered a visionary talk titled There's a Plenty of Room at the Bottom. So, sa iyang speech sa American Physical Society meeting at Caltech. So, si Feynman nag-discuss siya og how scientists could one day manipulate individual atoms and molecules, laying the foundation for nanotechnology. And 1974, term nanotechnology coined by Norio Taniguchi. So, about a decade later, si Professor Norio Taniguchi officially ang first nga nagamit sa term nga nanotechnology while nagpadayon og growth sa ultra-precision machining. So next is how small is a nanoscale. So ang nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter or 10 to the negative 9 meters. So imagine, gibahin nimo ang usa ka meter sa usa ka billion parts, mao na ang usa ka nanometer. So, ang kaning picture kay nag-visual comparison siya nga to explain how incredibly small ang nanoscale is by relating it to more familiar objects. So, nag-show siya og scale progression by powers of 1,000 to demonstrate the relative sizes of various items from the nanoscale up to large objects. So, sa top row, sa kinaunahan kay nakita na to dira ang DNA. So, ang DNA is 2.5 nanometers diameter. So, the basic molecule of genetics. While ang bacteria or bacterium, 2.5 micrometers long. So, 1,000 times larger than DNA. While ang large raindrop 2.5 millimeters diameter. So 1,000 times larger than a bacterium. And sa middle row, kay ang single-walled carbon nanotube. So 1 nanometer diameter. Example of a nanoscale material. Then, ang strand of hair is 100 micrometers diameter. So 100,000 times larger than a carbon nanotube. While ang house, 10 meters wide, so 100 times larger than a strand of hair. And then, sa last, bottom row, nanoparticle 4 nanometers diameter sa common in technology applications. Ang ant kay 4 millimeters long, so 1 million times larger than a nanoparticle. So, kaning Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 4 kilometers per lap, so 1 million times larger than an ant. So, ang purpose aning a chart is to design to illustrate the scale of nanotechnology. So, by showing how nanoscale objects compare to familiar things through exponential scaling. So, makahelp po ni siya sa nato mga people nga to understand kung usa jud ka small nanoparticles truly are. So, many times smaller than a human hair or even a bacterium. So, ang nanotechnology kay nagdeals with structures and devices on a scale so small that it operates at the level of atoms and molecules. So, it is a rapidly evolving field with great potential in medicine, electronics, materials, science, and more.
So, what is nanofacturing? So, manufacturing, it refers to scaled up, reliable, and cost-effective manufacturing of nanoscale materials, structures, devices, and systems. So, manufacturing is mao ni ang mga reality or mga tinuod nga materials nga gamiton sa mga scientists like telescope and microscope. There is two fundamental approaches. First is bottom-up fabrication, also known as a self-assembly, is a nanofabrication approach that builds nanostructures by assembling smaller components like atoms or molecules into larger structures. So, example of this is when someone is learning a new word for the first time without any previous reference points for that new word. So the transduction relies entirely on the person learning and analyzing this completely new stimulus. The second one is top-down fabrication. Is a manufacturing process where a larger material is gradually shaped into smaller structures by removing excess material. Top-down fabrication techniques are used to create structures like carbon nanotubes, nanoparticles, and nanowires. And now, let's proceed to the principles of bottom-up fabrication and top-down fabrication. So, first is deep pin. So, deep pin mao ni ang usa mo direct nga pagkasulat sa scanning probably-lithography technique nga nagamit sa usa ka automatic microscope. So, the second one is self-assembly. Isa ni siya ka proseso which is i-arrange niya og tarong either separately or linked as a monolayer, multi-layer, or any other structures. Like for example, ganahan kag maghimo og bangko. So, kinahanglan na kay hunahuna nga or process sa paghimo nini. Arita sa science nga example. So, ganahan ka nga maghimo og any medical. So, kinahanglan gyud nga naa kay saktong proseso para ma-achieve nimo og tarong ang paghimo sa medical. Then, the third is chemical vapor deposition. A thin film deposition, a process for applying sa usa ka nipis nga materials, process where a solid materials is deposited from a geospace. So, ang geospace is mao ni ang kahimtang sa butang where exists as a gases onto a heated substrate through a chemical reaction. So the fourth one is nano-imprint lithography. So nano-imprint lithography is mao ni siya ang technique sa nanolithography nga maoy naghimo sa mga patterns sa nanoscale pinaagi sa mechanically printing a mold into a deformable resist layer. So the last one is roll-to-roll processing. So ang roll-to-roll processing usa ni siya ka technique sa paggama sa nagproseso sa mga flexible nga materials in continuous roll format, and it also involves feeding a roll of materials through processing machinery such as coating, printing, laminating, or embedding, and then rewinding the processed material into another roll. Distinct future of nanoscale. First is scale which much biology occurs. The scale at which much of biology occurs is the nanoscale, which ranges from approximately 1 to 100 nanometers. So this is the size of range many biological molecules and structures within cells. For example, a strand of DNA is about 2 nanometers in diameter, and hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen, is about 5.5 nanometers in diameter. To provide context, a nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter. So, a human hair is about 50,000 to 100,000 nanometers thick, and a red blood cell is about 7,000 nanometers wide. So the second is scale at which quantum effects dominate properties of materials. So quantum effects generally dominate the properties of materials at the nanoscales, which is typically defined as 1 to 10, 100 nanometers. So balik-balik ra good, 1 to 10 nanometers ra good. At this scale, materials can exhibit unique physical, chemical, and optical properties that differ significantly from their bulk counterparts due to quantum mechanical phenomena. And the last one is nanoscale materials have far larger surface areas than similar masses of larger scale materials. So nanomaterials are defined as materials with at least one external dimension between 1 and 100 nanometers. This small size leads to unique properties including a high surface area to volume ratio.
Next is government funding for nanotechnology in different countries, DARE 2005. So, kini is nagpakita sa mga nasod nga naghatag og suporta o pondo sa nanotechnology pinaagi sa ilang mga gobyerno. So, nanotechnology is the science of manipulating very tiny particles, atoms, and molecules para maghimo og mga advanced nga produkto or teknolohiya makatabang ni sa medicine, electronics, energy o bisan sa environment. So, sa karong panahon na ang nanotechnology usa sa mga pinaka-importanting research fields, countries nga gustong mag-una sa science o technology usually invest in it. Atong tan-awon ang matag nasod sa listahan. So first is ang US or United States. So the US is a global leader in nanotechnology research. So ang Amerika day is mao ang usa sa pinakaunang nasod nga nag-invest og dako sa nanotech. So through their National Nanotechnology Initiative or NNI, the US government spends billions of dollars to support research and universities, laboratories, and industries. So, gusto nila nga ang nanotech is magamit sa medical devices, electronics, o military technologies. So, next is ang European Union. So, the AO is or European Union is combines the efforts of many European countries to found nanotech. So, ang European Union is ang is usa ka grupo sa mga nasod sa Europe nga nagtinabangay sa research. So, instead of working separately, countries like Germany, France, Italy, and others contribute funds and work together to support joint nanotechnology programs mas nga maayo ni para sa sharing of knowledge and resources. So, mao na ang European Alliance. So, next is Japan. So, Japan is advanced in electronics and nanotech plays a big role. So, ang Japan is kilala kaayo sa high-tech electronics. So, nagamit ang nanotechnology sa semiconductors, robot, o health technology. So, the Japanese government supports private companies and researchers to continue innovating. So, mao na ang Japan. So, next is ang Taiwan. So, Taiwan is focuses on technology and manufacturing using nanotech. So, ang Taiwan is nagamit sa nanotech para mas mo improve ilang mga produkto. So, gigamit nila ang nanotechnology sa microchips, gadgets, o precision tools para mo kompetensya sa global market. So, the next is ang India. So, India uses nanotechnology to solve problems in health, agriculture, and environment. So, ang India is like nagtanaw sa nanotech isip solution sa ilang mga problema. So, gusto nila gamiton ang nanotech para sa mas maayo nga abono daw or limpyo nga tubig o barato nga tambal. So, mao nang sa India. So, next is China. So, China is one of the top countries investing in nanotech. So, ngano? So, ang China is usa sa mga pinaka-aggressive nga naningkamot nga mauna sa nanotech. Kay dako ilang government ba like budget para sa nanotech. Yes, gigamit nila ni sa energy infrastructure, electronics, og sa defense. So, next is Israel. So, Israel supports scientific innovation, especially in medicine and defense. So, ang Israel is nagpaluyo sa mga research, labi na sa health og military. So, gamay nga nasod, pero taas ang quality sa ilang mga research institutions. They apply nanotech sa advanced cancer treatment, sensors, and security system. So, next is Australia. So, Australia funds nanotech for agriculture and environment. So, ang Australia is like nagtanaw sa nanotech para sa sustainable farming o clean environment. Their focus is on using nanotechnology to monitor climate change, improve crops, and clean water resources. So, the next is Canada. Canada supports nanotech in medicine and clean energy. So, ang Canada is nagtuo nga ang nanotech is makatabang sa healthcare o renewable energy. So, Canadian researchers are creating new materials, solar panels, and medical devices using nanotech. So, next is South Korea. So, South Korea invests in nanotech to remain a tech leader. So, gusto sa South Korea nga magpabilin nga leader sa technology nga mao nga nag-invest sila sa nanotech. So, gigamit nila ang nanotech sa smartphones, cars, o robotics. So, next is ang Thailand. So, Thailand is developing its nanotech research sector. So, nagsugod na ang Thailand og support sa nanotech research. So, they are using nanotech sa pagpugong sa sakit sa tanom, pag-improve sa pagkaon o paglimpyo sa tubig. So, the next is the Malaysia. So, Malaysia aims, the last one is Malaysia. So, Malaysia aims to use nanotech for economic growth. So, ang Malaysia is like gusto nga gamiton ang nanotech para muuswag ang ilang ekonomiya. So, they apply nanotech in manufacturing, cosmetics, and healthcare. Their government has created special programs to train researchers and funds project. So, next is manamata sa government funding for nanotechnology development countries, no? So, next is possible applications of nanotechnology in the Philippines, date 2005. So, this slide issues where nanotechnology can be used or applied in the Philippines. According to the 2005 study by Dr. Fabian Derrit, although nanotech is still developing in the country, there are many potential areas where it can help solve problems and improve daily life. So, naay 2, 4, 5. So, naay lima sa kanong possible applications of nanotechnology in the Philippines. So, first is ang ICT and semiconductors. So, ICT or Information and Communications Technology and semiconductors are important to our electronics and tech industry. So, ang ICT o semiconductors kay parte sa technology sama sa mga gadgets just like sa cell phones, computer, or internet. So, nanotech can help make smaller, faster, and more powerful computer chips. So, this is important because semiconductors are used in phones, laptops, and all modern gadgets. So, sa Pilipinas, companies in electronics manufacturing zones like in Laguna and Cebu could benefit from these improvements. It can make our tech industry more competitive globally. So, mao na ang sa ICT or semiconductor. So, next, number 2 is ang health and medicine. So, nanotechnology can improve healthcare by creating better medicine and medical tools. So, sa health og tambal, ang nanotech is like makatabang sa pag-improve sa pagtambal sa sakit og sa diagnostic tools. So, with nanotech is scientists can develop targeted drug delivery system. So, meaning ang tambal madtora direct sa parte sa lawas nga naay sakit like sa cancer cells. Also, it can improve diagnostic tests, making them faster and more accurate sa Pilipinas. This can help hospitals and clinics, especially in rural areas. So, the next is energy. So, nanotechnology can help create cleaner and more efficient sources of energy. So, ang nanotech is like makatabang sa paghimo or renewable energy sama sa solar, wind, o energy-saving devices. So, for example, nanomaterials can make solar panels more efficient or allowing us to produce more electricity from sunlight. So, sa Pilipinas nga daghang adlaw ug init, solar power is a great opportunity kay ngano, and nanotech can make it even better. So it can also help in creating batteries that last longer, which is useful sa mga lugar nga sige og burn out. So no, gamit kayo ang solar kay just in case nga mag burn out. So next is food and agriculture. So nanotech can help improve farming and food safety. Sa pagkaon o agriculture is makatabang ang nanotech sa pagpanalipod sa tanom, pagpahimsog sa abono o pagsiguro ba o pag-sure nga luwas ang pagkaon. So, nanotechnology can be used to create smart fertilizer that release nutrients, slowly making crops grow better with less waste. It can also detect bacteria or harmful chemicals in food, useful for improving food safety. This is important in the Philippines where many people rely on farming. So, last is the environment. So, environment is a nanotech can help protect and clean the environment. So, ang nanotech is like mahimong gamiton sa paglimpyo sa tubig, hangin o basura. Just like for example, special nanomaterials can filter dirty water and remove harmful chemicals or bacteria. So, nanotech can also be used in waste treatment and air purification. So, sa Pilipinas nga to flooding and pollution, nanotechnology can support disaster resilience and environmental care. So, next is roadmap for the Philippines funded by PICAS, TRD or DOS. So, na 8 ka kuan sa nanotech roadmap for the Philippines dino. So, first is ICT and semiconductors. So, this area, information and communication technologies or ICT and semiconductors is looking at how manipulating materials at an incredibly small scales. The nanoscales can lead to huge leaps in our digital world. So imagine building blocks so tiny that you can fit billions of them onto a single chip. So this allows for the creation of microprocessors that are much faster, use less power, and are significantly smaller than what we have today. So think about your smartphone. Nanotechnology could make future phones even more powerful than your current computer. Yet, so then you might barely notice it. So, it also involves developing advanced sensors that can detect even the slightest changes in environment leading to more intelligent and responsive devices. So sa ato pa, we're talking about using technology that work with things as small as a billionth of a meter to make our cell phones, computers, and other electronic gadgets much faster, more efficient in using electricity, and incredibly small. This also means better sensors for all sorts of applications. So that's for ICT and semiconductors. So next is health and biomedical. So nanotechnology offers exciting possibilities in health and biomedical fields. So one key area is drug delivery. Instead of medicine traveling all over your body and potentially causing side effects, nanoparticles can be designed to carry drugs directly to the diseased cells or tissue, like tiny guided missiles. So this increases the effectiveness of the treatment and reduces harm to healthy parts of the body. So nanotechnology is enabling the development of more sensitive and accurate diagnostic tools that can detect diseases like cancer at a much earlier stage, so potentially saving lives. So it also involves creating new materials at the nanoscales that are compatible with the human body, biocompatible for use in implants, artificial organs, and even helping to regenerate damaged or tissues. So think of it as helping the body repair itself at a fundamental level. So makadabang kini sa paghatod sa tambal mismo. So dito sa parte sa lawas nga masakiton aron mas effective og dili kini kaayo makadaot sa ubang parte. So makadabang sad ni sa pag-ila sa sakit sa sayop og sa paghimo og bag-ong mga materials nga magamit sa sulod sa atong lawas para maayo ang mga nadaot nga parte. So so the next is ang energy. So the energy sector can greatly benefit from nanotechnology. Just like, for example, nanomaterials are being used to create more efficient solar cells that can convert sunlight into electricity with a higher percentage of success, so making renewable energy more viable. So in terms of energy storage, nanotechnology is crucial in developing advanced battery technology. So this includes batteries that can store much more energy in the same size, so higher energy density, so charge much faster and last longer, so which is essential for electric vehicles and portable electronics. So Nanotechnology is contributing to more efficient lighting systems such as those using quantum dots which consume less energy and provide better light quality. So like para mas daghan ta og kuryente nga makuha gikan sa adlaw pinaagis sa mas maayong solar panels o makahimo og mga battery nga mas madugay malubat ug mas paspas ma-charge, then makatabang sa paghimo og mga suga nga makatipid sa kuryente. So next is environment. So nanotechnology offers innovative solutions for environmental protection and remediation. So nanomaterials can be used as highly effective filters to remove even the tiniest pollutants from water, so making it safe to drink. So nanosensors can be deployed to monitor air and water quality in real time, so allowing for quicker responses to pollution events. So nanotechnology is being applied to develop catalysts for industrial processes that produce less waste and harmful byproducts, so leading to cleaner manufacturing. So it is about using tiny tools to tackle big environmental challenges from cleaning up oil spill to purifying drinking water. So makatabang kini sa mahimong mas limpyo nga ang atong palibot pinagi sa paggamit sa mga materials nga makasala sa hugaw, then sa tubig ug hangin, napod mga gagmay nga sensors nga makabantay kung hugaw na ang atong palibot, no? So agriculture and food nanotechnology has the potential to revolutionize how we grow and process food. Nanofertilizers can deliver nutrients directly to plants, increasing efficiency and reducing the amount of fertilizer needed, so which is better for the environment. Nanopesticides can target pests more precisely, minimizing harm to beneficial insects and reducing the overall use of pesticides. So nanosensors can monitor soil health, moisture levels, and plant growth in real time, so allowing farmers to optimize their practices. So para mas daghan atong maani sa mas efficient nga paagi pinaagi sa nanofertilizers o nanopesticides or seeds, makatabang sab kini nga mas safe ang atong pagkaon og mas dugay kani madonot. So next is health and environment risks. So as we develop and use nanotechnology, it's crucial and to understand and minimize any potential health and environmental risks. This area of research focuses on studying how nanomaterials interact with biological systems, and the environment scientists are working to assess the toxicity of different nanomaterials, how they might move through the environment, so and what their long-term effects could be. So importante nga tun-an kung unsa ang possible daotan ining gamay kaayo nga technology sa atong panglawas ug sa kalikupan. Kinahanglan nato mahibal-an kung unsaon kini paggamit sa luwas o nga paagi. So next is nanometrology. So nanometrology is the science of measurement the nanoscale, so to ensure the quality, safety, and effectiveness and nanotechnology-based products. So we need precise and reliable tools and techniques to measure and characterize nanomaterials. So this involves developing new types of microscopes, sensors, and standards for measuring size, shape, chemical composition, and other properties at the nanoscale. So, accurate measurement are the foundation for advancing nanotechnology research and ensuring the consistency of manufactured nanomaterials. So, importante ni para masiguro nga tarong ang pagkahimo sa mga butang gamit ang nanotechnology pinaagi sa tukma nga pagsukod sa gagmay kaayo nga mga butang. So, last is ang education and public awareness. So, education and public awareness is for nanotechnology to be successful, adapted, and benefit society. It's vital to increase education and public awareness. So this involves informing the general public, policymakers, and the scientific community about the potential benefits and risks of nanotechnology. So educational programs, outreach activities. So and clear communication strategies are needed to build trust and understanding. By raising awareness, we can encourage informed discussion and ensure that nanotechnology is used responsibly and ethically for the betterment of society. So, kinahanglan mahibalo ang tanan bahin nini para masabtan nila ang kayuhan o possible nga peligro nini. So, importante ang pagtudo sa mga tao bahin sa nanotechnology para magamit kini sa maayong paagos. So, that's all for my part. Now, next is the nanotechnology applications and implications. So, nanotechnology involves manipulating matter at the atomic and molecular level between 1 to 100 nanometers. So, sa ato pa, kini nga teknolohiyang nagtrabaho sa pinakagagmay nga bahin sa mga butang, mas gamay pa sa makitan sa ordinaryong mata. So, it has diverse applications across various sectors including medicine, electronics, and environmental science. So, sa medicine is gigamit ang nanotechnology sa targeted drug delivery kung asa ang tambal madto direct sa apektadong parte sa lawas. So, sa electronics, kini makatabang sa paghimo og mas gamay pero mas kusog nga mga devices sama sa chips o sensors. So, sa environmental science is makatabang kini sa paglimpyo sa tubig o hangin o sa pagkunhod sa pollution. So, dili kini usa lang ka technology kundi usa ka lawong nga field nga adunay daghang paagi o pamaagi. So, it's a broad field with many approaches, each aiming to solve different problems or improve current technologies. So, nanotechnology aims to develop new materials with unique properties. So, ang tumong niini is mao ang paghimo og bag-ong klase sa materials nga mas lig-on, mas gamay or mas epektibo kaysa sa mga kasagarang gamit karon. That's all.
So these are the benefits and concerns. So first is improved contaminant detection and removal. So importante ni siya kay contaminants can be harmful to people and also sa mga animals also sa ato ang environment. And so by improving our ability to detect and remove them, we can make our world safer and healthier. So next is development of benign industrial processes and materials. This means creating safer and more environmentally friendly ways to make things in factories. We're thinking about using less harmful chemicals and developing processes that produce less pollution. And the third of the benefits is increased efficiency and new paradigms in various industries. So this means things will be done faster and better, and many different industries and entirely new ways of doing things will be developed. And so these are the concerns. So first is high reactivity and toxicity of some nanomaterials. So high reactivity, it means some nanomaterials are very reactive, meaning dali ra sila makombine with other substances. This can cause problems if they act with things in our bodies or the environment. And second is toxicity. Some nanomaterials are toxic, meaning ana makapoison sila or harm living things. Their small size lets them get into places in our bodies that bigger particles can't, making them more dangerous. And next is pervasive distribution in the environment, posing challenges for monitoring and control. So, nanomaterials kay makuha ra gid siya bisag asa sa atong environment, and it's hard to track them and to stop them for causing problems. And because they're so tiny, they're so difficult to find and monitor, making it do control their spread and potential negative impacts on the environment. And the last is lack of specific EPA regulation for nanomaterials. So this concern means that there are specific rules from the EPA. So meaning the EPA is Environmental Protection Agency. So about how to use nanomaterials safely. Nanomaterials are so new and different that the EPA hasn't caught up with making rules about how to handle them, which could lead to problems from people and the environment, for people in the environment. So
next is the future of nanotechnology, responsible innovation. So nanotechnology has immense potential, but it also comes with risks. Dako kayo ang possibility ang nanotechnology nga makauswag sa technology o sensya. So pero kinahanglanan gyud nga hunaw-naon ang mga risko nga possible nga mahitabo. So that's why we need through research, strict safety measures and clear regulations. So mao nang importante kaayo ang lawom nga pagtuon hugot nga mga safety standards o klaro nga mga balaod para masiguro nga ang paggamit sa nanotechnology kay responsible ug lawas. So we also don't fully know the long-term effects of nanomaterials on people and the environment. So wala pa tay klaro nga kasayuran bahin sa dugay nga epekto sa nanomaterials sa lawas sa tawo ug sa atong palibot. Busa kinahanglan pa kini og mas halawon nga pag-imbestiga. So finally, we need to balance the benefits and risks. So kinahanglan balance ang mga kaayuhan ug mga risgo aron magpadayon ang sustainable ug responsible nga advancement sa nanotechnology.
So next we have what is nanotechnology. So, ang nanotechnology daw is kanang all about kanang nagwork sa mga super tiny mga things. Kanang very gagmay nga mga things pa mao daw na ang nanotechnology. And then sa yahang kagamay, we cannot even see them if wala tay gamiton nga mga special tools like atong telescopes mga ngana. And then ang kaning mga tiny things is between 1 to 100 nanometer iyang sizes. So if kanang gamayan ka sa meter, how much more ang kaning nanometer? So billion times ni siya smaller sa atong meter. And also if kanang gamayan pud ka sa human hair, how much more ang nanometer? So also ang kani is, ang mga sizes ani is nag-work siya. Like first is ang atom. So ang atom is about 0.1 nanometer. So grabe kagamay no. So dili jud ni siya nato makita without special tools. So ang kaning atoms is kanang kabalo naman ta nga kani is very tiny. Tiny ni siya nga mga parts nga nag-make up sa everything. Like kaning everything good like sa air, sa plants, sa animals, and even kita mga people is made sa atoms. Next, we have the molecules. Ang kaning molecules is around 1 nanometer. So, kani is kanang group of atoms ni siya nga nag-stack together. So, mao na siya mahimong molecules. So, yahang sizes is 1 nanometer. Next, we have the protein. So, ang protein is about 3 to 20 nanometers. So kani is nag-help ni siya sa atong body and atong mga cell nga mag-work ang protein. So next we have the viruses. Ang viruses size is about 10 to 200 nanometer. So kani is kabalo naman ta ang virus is kanang mao na siya ang maka-make sa ato ang body nga or atong self nga masikta nga na. So next we have the human cells. So ang kani is about yang size is 5,000 to 200,000 nanometer. So kani is dako-dako ni siya but dili siya nga nakadako ha. And then ang kani is daghan ni siyang job sa ato ang body. Kani human cell is mo ni siyang job nga ma-keep us alive ta. And also kanang like nga ba kanang atong gikaon is iyang i-turn into energy nang mag-help din siya sa ato nga mag-grow and sila pud ang mag-fight sa sickness. Even though ang kaning nanotechnology is kanang nag-work ni siya sa mga super tiny things, kaning nanotechnology is kanang very useful ni siya sa or kanang gamit ni siya sa mga big and amazing ways in science, medicine, and technology. So helpful pud ang nanotechnology sa ato ang around. So next, uses and the future of nanotechnology. So first, we have the uses of nanotechnology. So ang kani is kanang ang nanotechnology is kanang dakong tabang sa ato ang mga doctors nga mag-send og medicine straight sa ato ang sick parts sa atong body like kanang cancer nga na. So ang kani is kanang by kanang ang medicine, di ba, may straight man na sa atong sick parts sa atong body. So kani is kanang gina-help ang people nga ma-feel better faster. Ug also nang dili sila mas masakitan sobra ba kay straight naman ang medicine is moadto naman dito sa ato ang sick parts sa atong body. So mao na. So dako jud ang help sa nanotechnology. So next we have the in electronics. So kani ang pag-make kuno sa mga phones, sa computers is kanang ginagamitan kuno na og nanotechnology. And also kabalo man ta nga atong mga phones, mga smartphones is kanang small siya pero powerful. And also that is why ang atong phone nag-work siya faster. And dili na siya need i-charge over time. Bisan pagpila na ka hours yung gigamit, dili na siya dali malubat tungod sa nanotechnology. Mga small tiny things. Next we have in the environment. So ang kani kuno is ang nanotechnology is kanang nag-help na siya nga ma-clean ang ato ang dirty water o ato ang mga atong air pollution ba. Ana. So ang nanotechnology kuno is kanang nag-remove na sila germs or mga bad stuff sa ato ang water, and also ang water is kanang nalimpyuhan na sa nanotechnology. So ang kanang water is kanang safe na siya magamit nato sa atong pangadlaw-adlaw. Ano siya. Next we have in cosmetics. So ang kani is kanang in cosmetic kuno is kanang ang nanotechnology is nagamit kuno og ay kanang ginagamit ba sa lotion, like sa ato ang sunscreen na nanotechnology, sa ato ang sa lotion nato na apod na nanotechnology. So kana is kanang ang lotion ug atong mga sunscreen is nag-help na siya nga maprotektahan natong skin from the sun. And tungod sa nanotechnology is ang mga cream is mag-get smoother na sila sa ato ang body. So fifth, we have the in sport equipment. So in nanotechnology kuno is kanang nag-make things like sa mga bikes, sa rocket is kanang gipalight kuno sa nanotechnology kay lagi small things sila. And also bisag gamay na sila or light na sila, it is strong kuno. And also ang kaning light nga mga bikes, mga rocket is nag-help na siya sa players nga kanang comfortable is and kanang makamove sila better and makaduwa sila og kanang comfortable sila. So ang nanotechnology is kanang like using mga tiny tools to help people protect nature, make cool gadgets like cell phones, and also ang nanotechnology is kanang gipa-improve ang atoang everyday things. And next, the second, we have the future of nanotechnology. So this, in the future kuno ang mga possible nga mga tiny robots is kanang mahimo na siya or ma-experiment ba sa mga scientist, and then kanang ilang experiment is kanang ang mga tiny robots kuno is kanang pwede na fix sa atuang inside body or kanang mga pag-build og mga things ingana. And then naapoy kuan nga ang some people kuno think nga kanang ang nanotechnology kuno or mga future of nanotechnology is kanang it can change kuno the world while ang other is kanang wala pa sila kanang knowledge about that ba, wala pa sila kanang or unsure pa sila mao na. And then kita mga people, we are still learning about sa nanotechnology, but ang nanotechnology, we all know that kanang naka-improve na siya sa atuang everyday lifestyle nga na. Kanang ang nanotechnology is kanang it could be a big part sa atuang lives or sa atuang community soon. Ano siya? So next, we have the approaches to nanotechnology. So naay two ways sa pag-make og nanotechnology. So first, we have the top-down approach. So it means kanang mag-start kuno ta sa kanang something na dagko or big para himuon siya og kanang gamay, smaller. So example, kanang natay kanang big piece sa kahoy and then ato siya gikat or kanang gigabas into small parts para maka-make ta og toys. And then also kanang we have bottom-up approach. So it means pag-build og something by putting small pieces together. So for example, kanang mag-build ta og wall using mga bricks. So kana is kanang mag-build na tag kanang wall using sa mga small pieces like kanang bricks, di ba? So by putting everything nga mga bricks, makahimo na ta or maka-build na tag wall. Mao na siya ang bottom-up approach. So in sum up, ang top-down approach is kanang big things kuno into smaller parts. And then while the bottom-up approach is build things from tiny parts. So ang bottom-up approach is kanang mag-build kag things nga gikan sa mga gagmay nga mga parts. Next.
So, challenges confronting nanotechnology. So, the first challenge is connecting small and big structures. Problem: tiny nanostructures are hard to connect with bigger systems we use, and solution scientists use top and down, up bottom methods, but it is still difficult and costly. So, what pasabot na is kanang connecting and small and big structure is kanang problem niya kay kanang gamay ang mga nanostructure kay lisod i-connect sa mga dagko nga butang or system nga atong gigamit. Ug ang solution na niya kay kanang ang mga scientists kay nigamit og top down and bottom up method, pero gasto siya if mo gamit kani nga method for any materials that you need. And so number 2 is surface area problems. Ang problem: when things get smaller, their surface area becomes bigger. This can be helpful for some uses but bad for others. Example: carbon nanotubes in electronics may not work well because unwanted particles stick to the surface. So what pasabot ni is problem is kung ang kanang butang kay makagamay, mas magkadako ang iyang surface area, which is makatabang siya sa uban, then sa uban dili depende sa imuhang gipagamitan or sa purpose sa imuhang gigamit. Sa iyang example kay carbon nanotubes in electronics may not work well kay tungod na siya mga unwanted particles nga nipilit sa gawas or sa iyang surface. So, sa number 3 is very sensitive to changes. Problem: nanocrystal change a lot even with small differences in size, shape, or material. So sabutan ni is ang nanocrystal daw kay change a lot even sa mga gagmay nga differences sa size, shape ug material nga gigamit. Sa solution is scientists need to control how they make nanostructures so they work properly. So but pasabutan ni ang mga scientists daw kay need nila i-control ang flow or gyud nila pagbuhat ang nanotechnology to ensure sa effectiveness sa kaning nanomaterials and to make it work properly. For example is carbon nanotube must be sorted because only some types work well in electronics. So carbon nanotube must be sorted or organized or kanang i-arrange kay only some types work well in electronics. So next kay future impact of nanotechnology. So one is medicine and healthcare. Targeted drug delivery, nanoparticles can deliver drugs directly to the diseased cells, improving treatment and effectiveness while reducing effects. So, one ni ang bot pasabatan ni is targeted drug delivery. So, pinagi sa kanang nanotechnology, we can improve our medication and healthcare while reducing side effects. For example, is regenerative medicine. Nanomaterials could be used in tissue engineering and organ regeneration. So, ang nanomaterials could be used in tissue engineering and organ regeneration to repair and to heal damaged organs and cells. And early disease detection, nanosensors will enable highly sensitive detection of disease like cancer at early stages. So, pinaagi sa nanotechnology kay ma-detect tayo na to ato ang mga sakit at early stage. So overall it improves our kanang medication and healthcare. So next part, number 2 is energy and environment. Clean energy solutions. Nanotechnology can enhance solar panels, batteries and hydrogen fuel cells for improving energy storage and efficiency. So pinaagi sa nanotechnology is we improve energy storage and efficiency. So for example is water purification. Nanofilters can remove contaminants, making clean water more accessible worldwide. so pinagi sa kanang nanotechnology purify water to remove contaminants, to have clean and safe water more accessible worldwide. And also pollution control. So nanomaterials can absorb pollutants leading to cleaner air and water. So pinagi sa kanang nanomaterials kay mo-absorb ang kanang nanomaterials sa pollution, leading us or naghatag nato og kanang cleaner air and water. And so sa number 3 is defense security. Stealth and armor. Nanotech could enhance camouflage and protective gear for soldiers. So nanotechnology could also enhance our defense security pinagi sa pag-provide og mga high-tech nga defense equipment for better defensive strategy. Like kaning drones, sensors, ultra small surveillance device could revolutionize defense strategy. So pinagi ni is kanang mas mapalawak pa ang atong nang strategy defense mechanism against sa kanang laing country if ever na ay nang gubat or war nga mahitabo. And I believe that's all for my part. Thank you.
And now let's proceed to the SWOT analysis. So S stand for strength. So highly active research area in Europe which structure collaboration and recognize infrastructures. So the second bullet is public funding steadily growing. The third is nanotechnology helps European firms strengthen with their competitive position. European leadership on nanosafety risk assessment and EHS impacts. So nanotechnology offers the potential for groundbreaking advancement across various fields including medicine, materials science, and energy-targeted application. So nanomaterials can be designed with specific properties and functionalities enabling highly targeted applications in areas like drug delivery and diagnostics. And now let's let's proceed to W stand for weaknesses. So lack of market-driven vision in R&D, insufficient provision of private investment, low patient application to scientific publication ratio as compared with US and Japan. So the production of nanomaterials and devices can be challenging and costly, hindering whispered adoption. So the long-term effects of nanomaterials on human health and the environment are not fully understood, raising potential safety concerns. So complexity and expertise developing and implementing nanotechnology solutions often requires specialized knowledge and expertise, which can be a barrier to entry. So letter O, which stands for opportunities. So larger number of potential applications, opportunities for cross-sector and interdisciplinary approaches, active standardization working groups. So nanotechnology has the potential to revolutionize numerous industries, including healthcare, electronics, energy, and material science. So, the global nanotechnology market is experiencing significant growth, creating opportunities for investment and innovation. And the last one is letter T, so Stanford threats. So, strong non-European competitors, US or Asia. Low acceptability due to uncertainty on EHS impact. For nanoscale, nanotechnology is still evolving, creating potential challenges for commercialization and deployment. So, public perception of nanotechnology can be influenced by safety concerns and misinformation, potentially hindering its adoption. So, high cost is the development and manufacturing of nanotechnology products can be expensive, potentially limiting their accessibility and adoption.
Hello everyone. Do you know what is nanotechnology? Nanotechnology is a new advanced science and technology that enables us to alter the fundamental properties of a material by applying human knowledge under microscopic condition in the vicinity of nanometers and rearranging every single atom, molecule, group of atoms and molecules so that it results in entirely new material properties. What is nanometer? It is a unit of length in physics. It is 1/1000th of 1 meter. To put it in a visual analogy, 1 nanometer is about the diameter of a hair divided by 100,000. We are unable to see such a tiny particle with naked eyes. Nanometer material is a material consisting of ultra-micro grains, with dimensions at the nanoscale of approximately 1 to 100 nanometer and has extremely broad prospect for application in various fields. Nanometer material contains different sets of characteristics from conventional materials. For example, far infrared ray emission ability using human body heat. It has ultra-high absorption ability because of enormous specific surface area and decomposition ability of undesired particle. Not only that, it has strong catalytic effect, strong UV reflection and strong magnetization effect. Scientists predicted that 21st century would be the nanometer era. Now let me explain the mechanism of biological effects of our nano wellness cards. Enzyme is the catalyst of life process. It increases the biochemical reaction rate 10 billion times. It is a protein that speed up biochemical reactions to fuel life processes and regulates physiology functions, keeping the body healthy. So how much energy is needed to activate the enzymes? Research have found that the enzyme active radicals vibrational energy is 0.05-0.1 eV. In other words, if the environment inputs energy is of 0.05-0.1 eV, the active enzyme will be excited by means of resonation and will be effectively activated. That means it can change the various imbalance, pathological, to balance, healthy, with the performance specificity and direction specificity without any side effects. It can adjust the negative imbalances of the two conditions such as cold, heat to the point of normal and could therefore quickly reduce or eliminate a variety of illnesses. After years of research, our principal company has successfully developed the new nanometer composite material. Under normal temperature, the material can have high energy conversion within the range of as less than or equal to 0.1 eV. Especially within 0.05-0.1 eV of energy range, it has a number of energy peak output. These output matches with the activated radicals of enzymes, which can produce effective resonance. In addition, we used the materials to do water tests and found that the pH value of water can increase about 0.1-0.3 with the help of the energy output of the material. It proves that the material can activate the enzyme indirectly by activating the fluids of body. Based on these research results, we developed the Nano Wellness Cards. The material can activate the enzyme which is the catalyst of life process and thus regulate the biological mechanism and improve human immunity. It starts from the root of life and soothes the illnesses and makes the human body healthy. With Nano Wellness Cards, you can do without injection, without drugs, without burning a hole in your pocket, and importantly safe to use and no side effect. For more information, please visit www.nanogoodies.com or visit our e-store www.myholisticshop.com for your purchase.